you might recognize in this screenshot the final paragraph of Ulysses by James Joyce with Molly's monologue and the way it is expressed in free, direct thought. Joyce actually had never written in such an extreme way before. When he started, he used a rather traditional style. His first collection of stories, called Dubliners, was published in 1914. There we go. Okay. And after that, he also published another interesting novel called The Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man in 1916. It was not until 1922 that his Ulysses was published, and actually published in Paris, because it had been banned from England because of obscenities. It is interesting to go back to the first Joyce to see the way he developed in terms of style, but also the way he expressed pretty much the same ideas, that is the idea of decadence in the costumes and times in his town, in Dubliners, and in The Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man. We are going to read a story taken from Dubliners, but let's say a few words about it. As we said, it's a collection of stories. It's called Dubliners because it is set in Dublin. That's where Joyce was from, and the protagonists of each story are people that live in Dublin. Joyce himself explained that he wanted to show a chunk of the life of his town, of his city, as divided, metaphorically speaking, into the various phases of human life: childhood, adolescence, maturity, and as you get old, you also get to have a public life. The last story, The Dead, is the longest. It could be also considered a novella, and it is the most complex. It could in some ways stand on itself. What we're going to read today is Eveline. It's on page 253. So Eveline is, as you can see, not such a long story. It's about three short pages, and it's about a 19-year-old girl, so pretty much your age. She lives in Dublin with her father. Her father is a rather tough man. We would call him an abusive father, even if he's never set his hands on her. He has done it with her brothers, and he does not treat her well. Her mother died a few years ago, and so she has raised her brothers, and she works for the family. She's dreaming of running away with her lover, Frank, and we meet her in the story as she is waiting to go out and meet him to run away. So that's the famous beginning of the story. She sat at the window watching the evening invade the avenue. Her head was leaned against the window curtain, and in her nostrils was the odor of dusty cretonne. She was tired. So we meet her as tired and as pensive, in a pensive mood. She's waiting for something to happen. I don't want to spoiler the end, so you'll read by yourself what's gonna happen in the story. Remember that Joyce's stories are never eventful, okay? So it's pretty much the expression of a way of feeling, but something happens. And at this point, I would like you to keep in mind a few key words that are going to be pivotal for us in order to understand Joyce. So these key words are realism, okay, and then we have symbolism, and in relation to Dubliners, we are also going to speak about paralysis, and last but not least, we have epiphany. So I would like you to read the story for next time, and I would like you to do the activities that you find in your book. activity 2 that runs from page 255 to page 256, and also activity 3. Okay, then we'll get back together and discuss all of this.